Hello, Giants. So, Common Assessment 2, round 2 of training. We're going to quickly walk through the things that we attempted to go over thoroughly today after school. But hopefully this video will provide us a second opportunity and will mean that you'll have the ability to pause and go back and as much as you need to. The second round of common assessments is unique, and so we're going to go through some high-level overview, and then we're going to get into some nitty-gritty details for those common assessment tested contents. At that time, earlier today, we would have broken out into breakout groups, but for the purposes of today, the whole video will be available for all middle school and high school teachers who may want to review the information. So, Quarter 2 common assessments have a few differences from our previous experience, all of which I think are great and allow us a lot more flexibility in the environment that we provide for students and staff. The first thing is that our common assessment bell schedule will apply to all students. All grade levels 6 through 11 will engage in the special schedule, although only semester-long high school courses will be engaging in a test. So the course flow on January 13th, students will attend their period 1A and B classes, and then period 2A and B. Thursday, they'll engage in their period 3A and B and period 4A and B. This allows for teachers to administer their own test in their own Teams channels with their students, and provides the extended time necessary for extra time and for each portion of the exam to be administered clearly and fairly. The makeup day, the official makeup day is January 19th, which is Monday, and we're going to work throughout the 13th and the 14th to have concise lists of those students that need to make up exams so that we can get that done efficiently on that Monday. There are a few specific opportunities that we're going to name. One, these extended time periods, because for example, period 1A and 1B, that's 3 hours of instructional time, and we're going to take advantage of that, and we're going to allow for thorough and extended student orientation sessions. We're also going to take advantage of this and provide extended SPED supports with pull-out tutorials. The good news with the 3-hour blocks of time, it does increase the opportunities that we have to support our students. It does have one thing that we have to figure out how we navigate, and that is that it creates a situation where teachers have an entire day of instruction without any relief. So what we are going to do in order to accommodate that is a pretty comprehensive and extensive relief schedule to ensure that teachers do receive on the day where they would not have had. For example, if you look at Ms. Alotu's schedule, for the 13th, she has her first period off, which is from 8:40 to 11:45, and then she teaches just that afternoon. However, on the 14th, she's in a situation where she has a 3-hour instructional block in the morning and a 3-hour instructional block in the afternoon. In order to alleviate that, we're going to provide a 30-minute break, 10:15 to 10:45 pre-lunch, and a 30-minute break post-lunch, 2:15 to 2:45. Again, a 30-minute break so that she would still have an hour of break and planning time on the 14th as well. The way that you read this particular table is that you would find your name on the left-hand side and then read it to the right. This tells you what course you're in, who your relief person is, and the time. And then when you read down to your planning period, it shows you who you're providing relief for and at what time of day you're expected to be there. So again, all teachers will have one day with 4 time blocks or 4 class periods where they are teaching. That means that we are going to work to provide every single teacher 2 30-minute breaks. All virtual teachers will also have 30-minute off-camera breaks so that you can schedule, or you can organize your lesson for that day accordingly. The 2 time blocks are listed here at 10:45 to 11:15 and 1:45 to 2:15. all staff on campus will support with the coverage and relief duties in one capacity or another. So now let's take a closer look at the high school courses. These are the high school courses that are assessing. You've got Spanish 1, AP Spanish, World Geography, Chemistry, Environmental Systems, Geometry, and AP US History, all that are engaging in a common assessment. Each of the teachers who teach those courses will be proctoring their own exams during that scheduled time block. So the students who are in your classroom first period will test with you on the 13th. Any student who is in your class during third period will assess with you during this time block on the 14th. This does a lot of things, but primarily it eliminates a lot of the logistics that created a lot of confusion and frustration and a lot of margin for error. So this is a much more streamlined approach to testing. For non-CA courses, the lesson and instructional expectations are similar to that, how they are to the day-to-day practice, right? This is still instructional time, and so there should still be structured learning occurring for the entirety of the block. Courses should align their lessons to the unit plan. You should work to have a combined lesson. Since you have the extended instructional time, you have the opportunity to combine 2 90-minute lessons and have full 2 cycles. This does create places for you to have reteach and reassessment, small groups, quiz review and corrections, unit exams. All of the above are great structured opportunities that you can use this time for. You do still have to have a completed lesson plan, completed student work, the accompanying Nearpod and or PowerPoint. Before testing activities that need to occur, and again, this is before you leave the building Tuesday. If you are in person, you need to prepare the room, make sure that the space is situated, cleaned up, that you have a pathway to walk and monitor. You all need to assign assign the proper test formats and aware forms or Schoology. Review the accommodations for students and communicate accommodations to students. Prepare your after the CA silent activity. Not all students not all students may need the entire 3-hour block to test, particularly if they are not a student who requires extra time. So you will need to have an after CA silent activity prepared for them to engage in. You should also prepare your own tracking system. It can be an Excel roster, it can be Schoology columns, but track who has and hasn't completed each section of the test. This provides an extra layer of accuracy so that the CTC, me, the entire instructional team can support you in your course in making sure that all students take both the multiple choice and free response. I should receive the free response for science and math no later than January 11th, and my commitment is to have a 24-hour turnaround and having those converted and ready to share with you. That is a pretty tight turnaround, but I think we can do it. And the changes that were recommended that I will make is to not put on the timers so that you have the freedom to navigate any technical issues on an individual student to student basis in the room. So student orientation, we're going to start Q3 really strong with our culture team. They have 2 main focuses. They have student engagement and student achievement. There are designated facilitators for these sessions. If you see your name listed here, it's you. The DOSs will be reaching out to you and will be working to provide extensive resources for ease of facilitation. These resources include like the Nearpod sessions, accompanying materials, things would be shared in the Schoology advisory folder. You can expect a 45-minute session, and sessions should be conducted at the end of the allotted 3 or 1.5 hour block, depending on the structure of your course. And then at the conclusion of the lesson, students will complete an exit ticket, and this will help us track who has and has not actively participated. Again, all resources for student orientation, you'll be able to access those via the Schoology advisory folder. For all of the Q2 CA resources, those are all in the Q2 CA folder on the Southside SharePoint page, which has been shared in the CLAW, was shared in the chat this afternoon, and will be shared again in the morning update. So thank you for your persistence this afternoon and patience as we work to navigate considerable amount of technical difficulties. And if you have any questions or need any support with anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out.